This episode of Scam School, no tricks, no lies, no BS. We're going to escape from police-issued handcuffs. This episode of Scam School brought to you by my hookup for domain smacks, those Basti Craftards over at GoDaddy. Welcome to the only show that has more alcohol than Everclear, Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and sometimes social engineering isn't quite enough. Sometimes you just need to learn some engineering. And to that extent, I've gotten a friend of mine from the college market. He's an escape artist and illusionist, all-around badass, Mr. Dan Martin. Escape artist, illusionist, and all-around badass, Mr. Dan Martin, how have you been?
I'm great, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Let's tell everyone what you do.
Well, I do a blend of very insane magic and real cool escapes that are a little bit more unique than most people have witnessed before. So,
okay, how long have you been doing the escape artist stuff?
You know, I've been doing it for like 5 or 6 years now, so it's pretty exciting.
Long enough to figure out how to get into and out of places you're not supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is great because this is the kind of thing I've wanted to learn for years. And so what are we going to learn about first?
Well, I thought for your Scam School audience, we would dive right into the meat and potatoes, handcuffs. All right, so here's what we got, Brian. We got a couple sets of police regulation handcuffs. We're not going to zoom in and show you, the make, the model, but these are the standard issued police handcuffs.
Okay.
That we're going to try to be learning today. We're actually going to expose the inner workings of a handcuff. So, first of all, these are police regulation handcuffs that we both have, and what happens is it's more of a ratchet type system, and every time it goes in and you hear a click, it locks in there. Okay. What happens then, you can take the key goes right into the hole as shown, and you always turn it inward. So if you turn it inward, the handcuff will always open.
So it's not always counterclockwise or clockwise. It's different for each of the two sides.
Yeah, depending on which wrist it's in and how it's facing.
Here, so like basically what you're saying. Let me steal this from you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you're saying is like in this case for this one, I'm going. Well, that was the wrong way. Like yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the right way.
Yeah,
perfect.
There we go. So that one is clockwise, but this one is counterclockwise, which I guess is something you're going to want to think through especially if you're doing it behind your back or something like that.
Yeah, as long as you're going in toward where your wrist actually is, to the middle of the handcuffs.
How does the teeth, like, what, are there locking tumblers in there, or how does that work?
Yeah, you know what, this is what's called a clear-cut handcuff. It actually shows the inner workings of the actual handcuff itself. Check that out.
That's badass. Now, what's amazing is how look at that in tight. I mean, you can actually see it comes in and those teeth pop up and over. I'm surprised at how simple the mechanics are in there.
You know, they're real basic, but people don't study them, which is usually a good thing for most people that have to use them on people. So go ahead and put the key in. Okay.
So key goes in.
And if you turn it inward, once again, toward the middle, you'll see it pushes down on the metal lever right there, allowing the ratcheted teeth to automatically open.
So all you're doing is you're pulling those ratcheted teeth out of the way, and once you do, the whole thing just
slides right open.
Slides all over the place. Okay, so obviously, well, I mean, that's good because I never understood before, with it being that simple of a mechanic, I can understand why other objects besides the key would be able to open that.
Sure.
What else? Okay, so that's obviously the easiest.
So it's the easiest.
Step one, have a key.
Have a key. So the nice thing is you can carry this on you, and if you run into someone that's a police officer at the bar, and you do a scam, say, hey, let's take it to the next level.
With them and
boom.
Yeah.
So that's one of the best ways. The next way is what's called a shim. It's a thin little piece of metal. Now you can make one of these yourself if you can find a thin piece of metal, but you can find them anywhere. It's just a little thin, stronger piece of metal, a little bit thinner than, let's say, the interior of a pop can, for example.
Right.
And what you can do with that works, you actually slide that in to where there's a little groove in the hole right where the ratcheted teeth go in.
So you slide it between the ratchet and the cuff.
Yeah. So go ahead and slide in, you'll actually see it slide right in there.
Now it's stuck though.
Now it's stuck. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna push it in as you push one more ratchet in.
Okay, so you actually make it a little bit tighter on yourself while you push this in. There,
and it locks the other ratchet teeth down. So
it holds it open.
Holds it open so you can slide it right out.
Oh, that's amazing.
So as you can see here, when you turn this over, this is actually thinner than a credit card.
Right.
So you could actually hide it in your wallet if you wanted to, and you're going to be good to go right there.
Man, I like that.
shim.
And you said this is a shim. So obviously, first and easiest and best is have a key.
Have a key.
Now let's say you have all of these on you, right? So you have a key.
Sure.
And they take it, and then but you still have your shim because it's so thin they weren't able to find it, right? Let's say you don't happen to have a key, you don't happen to have a shim. Are you totally screwed? There's no way to get out?
Well, there's ways to get out. Really experienced escape artists can use just about anything to try to pick open their locks.
Right.
One of the most common things that I always see people try to monkey with is the regulation household paperclip.
See, this is some heavy-duty Jack Bauer 24 movie time stuff. This is what I really want to learn.
Yeah, this is MacGyver.
You said this is the hardest of them?
Yeah, the hardest of the three that we're going to learn today, because you have to finagle it around a little bit. By seeing the inner workings and using the key and using the shim, you're going to be able to use the paperclip in almost the same format.
Is it like in the movies? It seems like they always have to bend it a special way or something like
Absolutely.
that.
So really easily, you just slide open the one part, just like that, the outer layer of it. And that bend is this. You place it in the handcuff keyhole. And once it's in there, you place your thumb over the hole, and you're going to bend it so it gets a little bit of a kink. That'll allow you to pivot this around, and almost like the shim, depress the part that holds the ratchet in place.
If you think of it as a finger, it seems like. If you think of it like if your goal is just all you really want to do is to be able to pull those teeth up, right? And
That's it.
I guess if you think of it as this is just a long skinny finger that's reaching in there and pulling those teeth up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I try it?
Yeah, go for it. Go
all right,
for
there
it.
we go. This is awesome. I'm so excited. I feel like a spy. Wait for it. Wait. Oh, the bomb's about to go off. Son of a bitch!
You did it!
I just picked a lock with a freaking. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Whoop. Look at that. I got it first try that time.
There you go.
I suppose now we should graduate to actually using the actual cuff. All right, now here's what I want to do. I want to have a final exam and see if under fire I can make actually escape from a pair of handcuffs.
What do you want to use, the key, the paperclip, or the shim?
All of the above?
You got it.
All right, so next up, my final exam. But first, we're going to check in with our contest to find the ultimate domain smack. All right, guys, 3 domain smacks to share with you this week. First off, I got a note from Brian Smith, who tells me about his friend who runs the blog at tweakerchick.blogspot.com. Because he's a sweetheart, he used the Scam 3 code to buy her tweakerchick.com. And because he's a jerk, he also bought her big booty bitch who thinks she's the shit.com and forwarded all of them to her blog. From Phil Miznikowski, we have essaybuilder.com that points to, you guessed it, Google. And finally, from Travis Lopes, we have spikyhaireddouchebag.com that forwards to, really? I mean, do we even need to show it? Thanks, jerk. Don't forget, if you want to pull a domain smack, domains are ridiculously cheap. Only $7.49 if you use the promo code SCAM3 at checkout at GoDaddy.com. And they'll even forward your domain for free. If you have a tale of your best domain smack, hit me up at brian@revision3.com and we'll feature it on the show. All right, so for our final exam, I thought we would do a MacGyver scenario. You could be the evil genius that has me tied up in his basement.
Okay.
All right, but my goal is going to be to escape from regulation police handcuffs. Put them on tight. All right. Look at that.
That beer looks tasty.
I don't know. You won't take my beer. Ta-da! Well, I tell you what, man, that was a blast. That's going to be a lot of fun to show off to all my buddies, dude. I tell you, you feel like a superhero.
Awesome. You did a great job.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Brian.
Want to give a very special thanks to Mr. Dan Martin for lending us a hand. Don't forget to check out his website at martinmagic.com. Now remember, everything you learned is for intellectual purposes only. Don't go out there escaping from the police and getting arrested again. We don't need any more of that bad publicity. If you have any video of you pulling off this scam, I want you to send it into the boards at revision3.com/scamschool. Any question about this, or if you're having trouble making it work, hit me up directly at brian@revision3.com. Don't forget, we have many more episodes coming up with Dan Martin, and next week, we're going to have a special cage match. For once and all, we're going to determine which is the breakfast of champions. Until then, I'm going to go have some warm beer and cold pizza.